How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. This is from 1987, and it's actually written and directed by Deborah Brock. This stars Crystal Bernard as Courtney. Courtney, you may remember from the first movie, is the younger sister who was across the street. Her and her sister kind of show up and get involved into the movie. So she's a good, interesting character from the original story, and she is trying to cope with the aftermath. So you have Courtney, her older sister, is in an asylum, unable to cope with the events of the first movie, and she is out, and she is in a band now, and everything seems to be going okay, but maybe it isn't. Maybe she's not exactly coping, and she too is suffering some trauma from the first movie. Anyway, her band wants to do some practice, and one of their families has a condo out by the beach. It's kind of a new place they're building up, so they're like the only condo that has anyone actually living in it, and there's a bunch of construction around the place. It's really cool as far as settings. But she goes over there. They have a slumber party there, and going on the slumber party, she starts to have dreams and visions of things like a hand, like the one that got cut off from the killer in the first movie. By the way, spoilers for the first movie. And then there's also like a vision where she sees a dead chicken, like for eating, in the fridge come out and attack her. So there's these crazy visions. But she's also having really bad dreams, flashing back to the first night and thinking about the killer, but things have changed. Anyway, they party, they play music, they get drunk, some of the boys show up, and there's one of the boys that keeps going, like that, and yeah, your typical over-the-top killers. And when the killer shows up, you find that he's a little different. As you may have guessed, 1987, this is post-1984's Nightmare on Elm Street, so it's taking heavy influence from the popularity of Nightmare and heavy influence from rock and roll. So the killer that, kind of is in her dreams and eventually comes out is a dream-based, killer that's getting into the real world, but he's also a rock and roll star, which is a really weird thing, because the first guy was just a guy, but now he's got a leather jacket on, he's got a guitar, and instead of the tuning piece on the top of the guitar, it's a power drill. A guitar power drill. I have no idea how you tune it, if the tuning part's gone or where the motor is. It probably shouldn't sound good, but this is a dream weapon, so I guess we can get around it. But yeah, it's really weird. This killer is hyper energetic, and as strange as he is, he's still very entertaining. You see him dance around and lots of energy. He is a rock and roll star, and he'll sing and dance and play his guitar, and it is quite different from the first one. And that being said, though, the music in this, there is some original songs, that the band will play or the killer will play. But there's also lots of other music that's just played, and it's lots of really obscure music, but pretty good. Like there's one song, Hell's Cafe, which didn't get too widely published, but a lot of fans are like, that's a good song. So even though this is kind of a weird cult film, they should really get on putting out this movie's soundtrack, because there's some cool songs on there. But anyway, yeah, so this movie, the thing I have to say is, as far as the direction and the writing, like, it doesn't have a problem executing its vision. Like, it gets everything on paper right, but the vision is so weird, you know? Like, it's technically got elements from the first one, right? You know, the driller killer, the slumber party, the characters from the first one. But then half of it wants to be like a rock and roll music video, and half of it wants to be Nightmare on Elm Street. But it winds up being so wacky, you know, you get standard, you know, unlikely but could happen in real life first movie. Just a really well executed slasher. And then this one becomes a supernatural slasher, Nightmare on Elm Street-esque thing with a killer that comes out of her dreams with a guitar that has a drill on the end of it, and he's a rock and roll dance around guy. And the thing is, though, it is weirdly entertaining and fun. But that being said, weirdly, this is a weird movie, and a lot of people who are, you know, very serious moviegoers, they're not gonna like it. But if you like these weird, crazy cult films, kind of in the, you know, so bad it's good type category, this is really one that deserves more attention. It's just a crazy, out there idea, and it's weird that it's a sequel to the first one because it is so very different. But it's so weird and crazy that, you know, I really liked it in this weird and crazy way, you know? Very different. But if you can have fun with movies, I definitely recommend checking this one out. Yeah, just sit there, have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Rock and roll, driller, killer. It's it's weird, but you can have fun with it. Anyway, I will get to part 3 very soon, and we can talk about how the series try to go back into a serious direction. But anyway, this is fun, and if you can have fun with movies, check it out. Anyway, I'll be back with more horror. I cover mostly, like 95% horror on this channel, and I'll be back with more of that soon. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping this channel out. And I'll see you guys again next time. Have a good day.